So I want to tell you about my,
Wait a minute. Oh, we're recording. Sorry.
I want to tell you the story about when I was traveling in Florence, Italy. It was a couple of years after I went to Rome for the second time. And that was just a wonderful, beautiful city. I loved it. Very, very old, and a lot of winding streets but also a lot of big Renaissance buildings. There's a big cathedral there with a big tower. Michelangelo was from Florence, and Dante. But one of the things, and I really enjoyed going to the museums there too. And
Kathy and John went there.
That's right. We talked about how they were there. Yeah, it's just a beautiful city. But I wanted to tell you about an episode that I had there where I almost got in trouble with the law. So when you ride the buses, you don't have to pay to get on, but you have to pay to get off. You have to have some kind of a ticket to get off. And so I got on and I didn't have a ticket. And then I got off without giving it to whoever I was supposed to give it to. And I just walked away. And then this man started following me. He wasn't dressed in any kind of a uniform, and he didn't speak English, and I didn't speak Italian. So he kept calling me. And so I stopped and asked him what he wanted. And he said, I want to see your passport. And I said, no, I'm not going to show you my passport. And I just turned and walked away, and he followed me and just insisted that I have to stop and show him my passport. He told me that I didn't pay to get off the bus, and that was that I broke the law. And I kept just walking away each time he came up to me and stopped me and tried to speak to me. I sort of played dumb, like I didn't understand what he was saying, except to use the word passport. And then finally, I just kept walking, and he gave up trying to stop me. It was probably, the bus ticket was maybe 75 cents or something. So it just seemed extravagant to make a deal of it. But I guess that was his job, and he was doing what he needed to do. But it was funny how that whole episode became significant for me in some way. That it's an example of how I often try to sneak to get what I want without being accountable, and I try to get away with things sometimes. A little bit of a mischievous part of me, but it kind of haunted me the whole day. And whenever I think of Florence, that's a memory. Like I'm telling you this story now. Why does something that's so trivial stay with me that way? That it sort of becomes a bigger deal than seeing the beautiful paintings in the Accademia, where I saw I saw this wonderful statue by Michelangelo of David. It's a very, very famous statue, really tall statue of David with a slingshot. And
seen that.
Yeah. But I had a wonderful time there. I must have stayed in some kind of a small hotel where I had a room. It might have been I don't think it was a youth hostel. I was just able to get an inexpensive room in a small boarding or a pension, like a little boarding house. So that's my little story about that.
Yeah. I can really identify with being upset at that incident. And I think must be the way we were raised, or maybe Catholic school, but I know I am oversensitive to doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone has to do things to survive, and it's okay. Everything doesn't have to be just perfect.
That's right.
And yeah, it's hard to do
Mhm.
what I'm saying is right.
Yeah.
Still hard to do.
Yeah. Well, part of me in doing that was I was critical of how they handled the payment for that bus fare. It was very confusing, and I didn't understand how to get a ticket, or with it. I just didn't understand it. And so when the bus stopped, I just got on the bus, and nobody said anything to me. And when the bus stopped where I wanted, I got off the bus. So I was able to do all those things.
Mhm.
And usually, if when you go to get on the bus, there's somebody asking you for your money for you to get on the bus. So it makes it clearer what the rules are. So the rules weren't clear to me. And I was sort of critical of that I became insistent on, not making amends.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And also I was done, I wasn't just asked for, just give me 75 cents and you're all right. I was asked for my passport, and which is a very, dangerous thing to do. It made me suspicious of that man, which I should have been. He didn't have any way of representing himself by any, identification or a uniform. So I think I was very smart in walking away from each time. And he knew maybe because I was a tourist that I would be intimidated, and maybe hand him my passport, and then he would run away with it. Because that's a valuable item. He can sell that. And so I think I was very smart
Yeah,
in responding the way I did.
even now, whether he was
Yeah.
trying to get your passport,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
75 cents from you, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But and I think that's the other part of it is I think I was acting very smart. I completely got away with the petty crime of not paying for the bus fare. And they didn't do anything about it. But I think those kinds of thieves take advantage of tourists that they don't know any better.
Yeah.
Maybe watched me getting on and off without paying, and knew that he could kind of play me with that
Yeah.
to get my passport. So, hey, I feel a lot better about that already. Thanks, Catherine. It's like confession always makes me feel better.
All right. Do you want to record any more?
No, I just want my penance.
You want your what?
Penance.
Oh. Oh, have some ice cream and you'll be fine.
Okay. I'm all out of ice cream.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we'll stop recording, Catherine.